going up over here, and there is a plume of smoke, of rising kind of whitish smoke on the side of 91 South near Hartford, right outside, just north of Hartford, going toward there. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to be going to the gun store, and I hope pick up an HK P30L. They had a USP Compact, sorry, a USP full-size 45 there a couple of weeks ago. I saw it, really liked it, and someone else picked it up. There was another gun that they had there, Mossberg 590A1. If the P30L is not available, that's probably what I'll get. I do have a number of pump-action Mossbergs already, but the 590A1 20-inch barrel is kind of the ultimate with the XS sights and the iron front, obviously, and the adjustable XS with the built-in big rail. It's kind of the ultimate 590, and in my opinion, kind of the ultimate pump-action shotgun, unless you get something really custom like the Van Comp version of that, or one of those really jazzed-up shotguns. I'm a little distracted, and apparently a whole bunch, the traffic jam I've been stuck in for 15 minutes now is because of looky-loos people who are slowing down to see the commotion on the opposite side of the highway. There's nothing going on over here. There's a whole bunch of fire trucks, and possibly they were spraying something with water, it looks like, but nothing to see other than fire trucks blocking off a lane on the highway. Anyway, I gotta do those pickups. I hope everything's in order. I'd really like the P30L. I did a video a handful, maybe it was a year ago now, but anyway, it was the last pistol I'll ever need, and I really am mostly over pistols. I think one of the things I mentioned was I wanted a range toy, something that I could dedicate to range shooting, and I was thinking either like a Glock 34, nice bike. It is motorcycle season. It's been a little chilly in the morning, but anyway, I wanted something I could dedicate for range shooting and really just putting a bunch of rounds down range. There is something to be said about brand reputation, although I think a lot of guns have the ability to run tens of thousands of rounds. I don't know of a single currently manufactured H&K pistol that I wouldn't trust to run 50,000 rounds easily. There's some that are pushing 100,000, 200,000. There are some that have ridiculous round counts. The barrels are fantastic. I think the barrel is like the most critical part of a lot of these guns. It is very well machined. The chamber, everything like that is really well done. Their frames and slides and all of their, like, even their little peripheral components, like recoil springs and stuff like that, last a whole length of time. Whereas if you get something like a Glock 19, not to ding it, but you probably want to stock up on some spare parts, springs and things of that nature. Not a big deal. You will get a weakening recoil spring, stuff like that happens at some point. Obviously, if you are economically minded, it might be better to get something like a Glock 19 and then get a bunch of spare parts, or get two Glock 19s for the price of some of the other pistols out there. But you know, there's other guns like the Smith & Wesson M&P, or a number of others. I'm not going to rattle them all off, but there's a number of other guns that really do a great job in this arena. I think the trigger, a lot of people say the trigger on the P30s is not very good. I disagree. I have a family member who has a P30, the standard size, not the P30L, and I shoot it really well, double action and single action. It is an incredible gun to shoot, and double action feels really, really natural. Single action does have a longer reset, but guys, learn it. You know, this is a combat gun. This is not a race gun. So this is not something you bring to competition when you're trying to get super quick shot times, things like that. This is a gun that is meant for duty use or kind of like serious use. And it's a sidearm. It's not a rifle. It's not a precision rifle. It's not something like that. This is meant as a handgun, which is not the primary piece of hardware you want to be getting into a fight with. My USP Compact is great. My P3000 SK, which I have concealed right now, is great. And my HK45C, I don't know how many rounds were on that before I bought it. It was a little heavily used, and that's fine. It was definitely used. But when I bought it, I put another, I think 12 to 1,500 rounds through it, and I've taken it to 2 classes now so far, and shooting 45 is not cheap, by the way. But anyway, I've taken it to 2 classes so far, and it's been flawless. That my P2000, which I haven't put a ton of rounds through, the P2000 SK, and the HK45 are some of just a couple of pistols that I have 0 mechanical malfunctions with at all. And the HK45C is the one pistol that has put the most rounds through it that has had 0 mechanical malfunctions. So yeah, it's a good place to be. Anyway, I will see you guys hopefully when I pick up whatever I'm going to pick up, and hopefully the sun won't be in my eyes. It won't be on the way home. See ya. This is my new HK P30L. As you guys may have seen, I had a previous video with my family member's HK P30, and I love the pistol. And I've been really having a hard time because Connecticut only allows 10 rounds in a magazine. So this P2000 SK, which is a great gun, holds 10 rounds kind of native with the pistol. You can see it's got a short grip, but it still shoots pretty much like a full-size H&K, although it does have kind of snappy recoil, and flips kind of a lot, but whatever, it's a fine gun. This has the LEM trigger. The gun is unloaded, so this is the variant 2 LEM, so you have a medium to light pull all the way back to a defined wall, and then a little more pressure, and then the gun fires, slide cycles, and then you have a reset here, and then you can fire again if you want. Every time you release the trigger, it is the same kind of pull. It's like a single action, but it's on a slightly heavier than single action pull. It's really not bad at all. I like it quite a bit. This is not a video on the LEM, although I do have another video that I'll post up in one of the cards or in the description down below about that. These two, however, are double action, single action with safeties and decockers. They're slightly different. I'm going to get the P2000 slightly out of the way, and we'll talk about the P30 and the USP Compact. So, USP Compact has been in my personal collection for over 10 years. It's been to pistol class. It shot a ton. I love it. This is like, maybe this guy's going to take over, but this is my kind of everything end of the world gun. This is the one that I really just feel is a perfect jack of all trades. And I even have a video that I posted about a year ago saying that I don't think I'm going to get another pistol. I ended up getting this guy, whatever. But this is kind of a really, really good sidearm in my opinion. The magazines for this gun are 13 rounds. However, in my state, I can only carry 10 in the magazine. However, that's not a big deal for me. And the only modification I've done to this gun and the P2000 SK is I modified the magazine release. This is the HK45C magazine release. This is the factory part on both of these guns. The stock one is about half the size. They're fine. So this gun is a double action, single action with a safety. The safety is only on the left side of the firearm for right-handed shooters for your thumb actuation. You can easily work it with your, if you're shooting left-handed, you can work it like so. I don't recommend it. It really is something that you could actuate with a decocker, kind of, but it's really not a good option. If you want to be able to work on the left hand, modify it, which is easy to do with the left-handed or ambidextrous one for this pistol. Anyway, great gun. Stock sights on this pistol, stock sights on the P3000 SK as well. Then enter the P30. The P30 is a upgraded version of the P2000. This is the P2000 SK, and then the P30 was an upgraded version beyond that. I've heard recently that they're discontinuing the P2000. I don't think the P30 is going anywhere anytime soon. In my opinion, it is the best hammer-fired H&K 9mm or 40 that you can get. The USP full-size, this is the compact, obviously the full-size is great in 9mm and 40. I prefer the 45, but that's a video for another time. So, I have a video on the P30. I do not have a video of the P30L, and for full disclosure, I haven't even shot this gun yet. I just picked it up. This has the manual safety. It's on both sides, but unlike the USP Compact, it is not a decocker. There's no downward position. The decocker for this gun is on the rear. There is a way to delete the safety on this, but I don't think I'm going to do this. This is a full-size kind of like duty gun, in my opinion, and I think that really it benefits from being in a full-size role. It's not a concealed carry pistol by any measure, and because I can only have 10 rounds in the magazine, why would I carry this with 10 rounds when I could have this with 10 rounds? The only reason really is I just want that added grip. It has fantastic ergonomics. This is the medium backstrap, side panels on both sides, and kind of stock grip. It's really good. I am going to modify it with the Talon grip tape. I'm going to put the sticky grip on here because, again, it's a full-size gun that is going to stay in that capacity. This is really like a home defense slash range toy, in my opinion. Hence the light on here, which you can easily remove. And you can see kind of the difference, if I line up the back of the chamber, the difference in length for the P30 versus the USP Compact. The USP Compact is approximately 3.7 or so inches. I'll annotate that on the screen. And the P30 is more. P30 does not have an O-ring. None of these have O-rings on the barrels, which is fine. It doesn't have that accurized barrel. But I've personally been able to shoot the standard P30 really well. And I'm hoping the P30L is going to be similar to that. Let me disassemble this. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube. Inside the P30 is quite similar. We will show them ascending. So we have the P2000 SK, which has a dual recoil spring. This is, like I said, a really good shooter, but you do have to slow the slide down a little quicker in order to get it to do all of its function in a shorter travel. The USP Compact is really nice. It has this sliding polymer recoil buffer thing, so when the slide gets to the rear of travel, it compresses the buffer slightly. And the P30 is kind of similar. It has a larger recoil spring assembly, but it also has this little hard piece on here with a recoil buffer inside of that. So you can see that there's quite a bit of slide lightning cuts here, which make these guns not great for adding optics, but that's fine in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of optics on pistols. I do have a couple, and I do carry one on occasion, but you can see that these are really kind of similarly built guns with great finishing on the inside, and actually quite a few similarities when it comes to the gun. That guy's really dirty, go figure. Anyway, just want to show off my new P30L, which I'm super happy about, and I will do a video comparing this, hopefully a range video comparing this, or 2 videos comparing this to the standard P30 at some point in the future. Decocker on this gun I showed on my P30 video. Really simple to use. The gun is in single action right now. You just press this button on the back and it safely decocks the gun. Great system in my opinion. And this also uses the standard 1913 rail on the TLR1. Yep. Light ND. Some people are adding, and I may pick one up at some point. Some people are adding the rail mount compensators or the match weights to this gun, which I think look pretty cool. I don't know how functional they are, but also I know holster compatibility is an issue, and definitely for concealed carry. This one, the TLR1, sticks out slightly beyond the muzzle, which is nice, so if you have to press it or you are pressing it into a target, you do have that standoff so your slide doesn't go out of battery. But also, for a long time, I've had this floodlight holster from Filster. And this holster, this is the version 1. They have the version 2 out, by the way. But this fits really well in here. You do have a little extra space kind of up in the front, which is fine. But you can always trim this off. I've been considering trimming this anyway. But you have a really good package that fits really well and it gives good retention and also protects the trigger guard considerably. So I don't think I'm going to get a dedicated inside the waistband holster for this beyond what I have. If I do, it will be one for the gun without the light. But I think this is a good option if I were to carry this gun, this kind of massive package. I think that'd be fine. So anyway, stay safe, you guys. One last thing. Let me assemble these quickly. Make sure that I'm putting the right components in the right guns. Not going to load it, but this is the 10 round P30 magazine because I bought it new in my state. You can see it fits flush in the P30. It'll also work in the P2000 SK. Obviously, if this was a 15 or 17 round magazine, you could load 17 rounds in this gun, and you can get a grip spacer if you want. Also, in the USP Compact, you have that extra space as well. Again, for the USB Compact, it doesn't do anything. But if this were a full-size mag, you could hold 17 rounds in the magazine for this gun as well. Peace out. See ya.